All right, guys. Welcome. Just make sure my mic is working, actually. Okay, it is. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another stream. Haven't done one of these types of streams in a while. You can actually see me too. Cam's back up. And we're going to be looking at some... We're going to be taking a look at some Lghl film, essentially. I was in ECU this last week of LG. So I was filling in for a guy who was on IR. So I'm playing yellow, playing right D. We're just going to take a look at pretty much how the games went. Things that I got to do a little bit better, and certain things that, you know, I kind of go through when I'm trying to, you know, basically playing these games. Just some things to look out for. First of all, the first big thing when it comes to NHL is that there's way more formation. Like, the format of the games is a lot smoother. You can actually see like what teams are trying to set up. Like, they actually have a formation to their game. They have an actual game plan. When it comes to, like, you know, the CHL, ECHL, you don't really see it too much. It's kind of just like a wild gameplay back and forth. You can still see it in the end too. You see it, you know, obviously in the A. It's kind of like a mix. But the really good Lions know how to, you know, they know what they're looking for. There's definitely more formation when it comes to NHL level gameplay. This is the first time I'm playing in 25. Played 2 seasons of NHL in NHL 24. So it's the first time really going back to NHL at the, or pretty much playing at the NHL level. So this is more of a quick breakout here. Inside, outside. Playing to his point. So able to draw one there. Which is pretty good. So now we're in the power play. Typical power play setup. You work it back to the point. They then find either a 1T wide or even a cut play through the middle. Pretty much anything of that nature. They maybe look for a deflection, one-timers from the point. I always put on that silver 1T. They shot it back down. And then here's where something I don't really do very often is give a call out in terms of what I want to see. Because I actually should be... Yeah, that was actually horrible there from me. And this just goes with the, like, the structure of playing NHL at this level, right? When you're a defenseman, regardless if it's power play or 5-on-5, there has to be, when a team is like, or they got all their guys back, essentially, right? They would have their 5th guy back, and where everybody here is behind the defense, or I guess the defense is ahead of us, then there needs to be like structure to that. It's like a controlled breakout. So for me, I have to be able to either give a call out to blue, to red, maybe even over to teal in terms of what I want to see. This is where, you know, you got to have a level of confidence when it comes to that. And it could be any call, really. It's just a matter of getting the forwards to be on the same page as you. So, I mean, you could even call red to go here, cut right. So it's just cut right red, go down the middle red, cut left red, cut right left, left right. So it's kind of like he's going to play the middle lane. You got the wingers are going to be obviously covering the boards. They can cut when they get to the red line. They could go in and out. They could stay boards. There's a couple different areas, right? You don't... Then the reason for callouts too is so that you don't have 2 guys going in the same area. If red for some reason wanted to go to the right, he goes here, and then blue wants to do the same. Now you got 2 guys in the same area, and that's not good. So there's a few different callouts that could be made, and there's also a level of like timing and control that a defenseman has to have when they're actually controlling the puck. And that's a part of my game that isn't solid. Because we're here trying to go back in quickly. Was able to find just a pass there. Yep. But you do see, right, the difference between Teal and me already is that he's got way better puck control than me. He goes in. He has the patience to control. He finds a cut right there. That's great defense from that Tampa Bay player. But that's the type of cut that you're looking for. And then that's the timing of the pass. So you have to know what your fours are going to do. Or you could even tell them what to do. And then you have to be able to time that pass. This should have been... Yeah, it's the same thing here. So I feel like I'm moving too fast. Because what's happening is I'm moving with a lot of speed and I'm catching up to the forwards. So if I was to try to do something, I would have to delay and wait for them to move before I can make a pass to them somewhere. Or if I wanted to go D to D. I mean, I can move very fast here if I want, so that like it sort of fakes like I'm going this direction, obviously. But then you can give the, you know, then you can make a pass. Like if I get to right here, I can make a pass over to teal, which would eventually be right here to pick up a pass for either him going in, making a pass over to green. So there's a couple different options. You just have to mix up what you want to see. And again, I would say this first game, it was kind of horrible, to be honest. Throughout the days, it was fine. Or like, I think we only had 2 games because we had like a forfeit win game 2. So we waited like another 40 minutes or so before the next game played out, and then we actually did pretty well there. I'm gonna shoot it out, tip there. Okay, back to the point. There's another 1T that gets blocked. Not able to move that puck. They work it back. Big save there from the Tendy. That's from not being able to move that puck as soon as I got it. And work it back to the point. Full pressure, so it's kind of tough. They're going to work for a cut. I was able to at least read that. And I'm able to move it up quick. This is kind of putting our guys in a bad spot because we're coming off a full pressure and they have limited space. So if I'm thinking about it, I had to move it there. Well, actually, no, I didn't. Well, no, it's full pressure. You kind of want to get it out as fast as you can. You don't want to delay too much because you're just going to wind up losing stamina if you try to hold on to it for too long. I mean, you could delay, set up something else if it is going to eventually be open, but these guys are going to bull rush you with the full pressure. Here we go again, where there should be a designated call out. But again, this comes from when I'm playing in the AHL, there's a mix of a forecheck. NHL, at least with the teams that, you know, the 2 teams that we played, they trapped most of the time, which is something different. It just screws up the timing to go from the A to the end. All of a sudden, hey, you gotta work more call outs. But it's like, so here it could have been an in and out for green, could have been a cut. Well, depending on how you want to read this, you would want to see how they react. So a simple call out could be just for him to cut in and see how that is. But these guys are kind of on the inside, so you can do like a fake and go cut in and then out, or maybe you would do it earlier. Just kind of depends. But that should have been, hey, green, cut in and out. And you see what happens. He actually goes in. Oh, I was able to find that, I guess. I'm not even sure if I gave a call at them. Works it back down low. Work it back to the point. And there's just a shot. It's kind of a... See, that's where, again, I could be doing more. Control. I took a shot there. I'm not sure if I was trying to find a low pad and it just kind of goes up. It's not quite. All right, and then here we go again. So now we do notice how Teal plays is that he's actually moving slower than me whenever I get the puck. He already gave a call out to somebody. Let's see what he gave it to Green. As you could tell what Green did, and he was trying to time that pass. And that's kind of like gathering information at that point. Is that Palpatine? I'm not even live on Twitch, I don't think. But thanks for the follow, I guess. And then you see what they did. They actually gave a call out there too. But see, this is kind of tough, right? Because again, you're given a call out. And this is actually 2 times now where you saw these 2 guys lining up in the same area. But he's actually showing it. What this guy is doing is he's wanting some kind of play to the outside. He's going to anticipate that kind of play. There's a call out for Green to cut in and out. And then this guy jumps to play. Oh, there it is. Like, what would you even do there? to like adjust. I mean, there's probably a couple different ways of doing it, but so here, this is one of those where he goes, hey, D to D. So he's going to skate like he's going to cut in, and then he pulls back, finds a pass for a guy, for the opposite defenseman with speed. He goes to the outside. That would have to be some kind of call out. And that's the reason they were able to go in there. But again, this is like already almost 10 times better than what, you know, you see in the AHL. Quick breakout here because they're forechecking. So now you have to determine whether you're going to give a call or not. You can't because they're forechecking. So now it's just moving up to the furthest guy who has the most space and speed to get out. Try to find a backdoor feed, and that was also Teal who jumped up. So now you're activating when you have a quick breakout. You activate your defenseman if he has a lane that he could fill. He saw that Red was slightly behind the play, and Teal is able to just jump up, fill a gap, and it became a 2-on-1 almost. Now here you can give a call out. I mean for me, right? Like I could give a call out somewhere. I think I did there. I went stay boards or something. But I mean that's not even a good. I'm trying to think like what could be a better call out here. Because I gave it to him early. See, that's kind of tough. Like, I would just have to give a call and then do it. Because, like, regardless, you could say, hey, blue, stay boards. And then what this guy's doing, he's playing in between both the guys. And then these guys are playing, like, more or less the coverage on the actual forward. So if he cuts this way, he's going to follow. He cuts this way, he's going to follow it. He could also break it, you know, make a play on it or stay over the top. Like, this is perfect in terms of their setup. If anything, it should be working it quick to the opposite winger who's got a one-on-one with space. If I was going to go quick, like, hey, they've got, if I recognize this quick here and say, hey, this is excellent coverage from them because they've got inside leverage. He can stay over the top and play both sides. But then you also got to watch this guy potentially picking that off. But I mean, a quick pass there, he could definitely be around the bend, and it would be just a one-on-one play. He'd even work to the opposite defenseman, but he's kind of slightly behind, and number 72 is also there, back-checking. I mean, this is kind of tough. If it was offside, it was still kind of a decent play, but that was like more or less a 50-50 that, you know, if it wasn't offside, he probably could have gotten, or it could have not worked, which in this case it didn't. And that's what I'm saying, like, it's a little bit tough. But now let's see what they do. So that was just a quick cut. And I guess, I don't know, maybe it was just cut for the winger on that side to cut in. Now just about managing the pressure. Body check. Watch for the wrap. Got some winger help on the play in the corner. A couple seconds there, and then that's it. So, no goals. There was like one or two like high percentage chances. I would say the other team pretty much had it. Now let's see second period. So again, face-off win. You saw they're not going up. This is like sort of what you see a lot of teams do off the draw, unless it's a designated call out from a defenseman. Hey, green, go middle here, stay wide, and it's like a quick breakout right from the face-off. Every single high-level team, you know, you see this in Esports as well. They're gonna rotate back and just give a controlled breakout. So this was a call out for blue, but it was offside, which is on the forward. You can't really blame red. If there is a call out to a specific forward, then the opposite two, right, forwards would have to then be able to stay on side. Now, I don't know. I think this was just a regular call out, but like, yeah, no, he did cut at the red line there, but he couldn't make that pass. He had to make it when he made it there. Like, he had to make it at that exact moment. Like, there is other timing. Like when you say cut in, right? It's like for if you're gonna say blue cut in, the timing for that is when they get to the red line is when they're gonna make that cut in. If you say for like a winger, same for like a center cut right, he's gonna make the cut when he gets to the red line. Make the cut when he gets to the red line. He's gonna make a little head fake cut when he gets past the red line. Like that's the regular timing. You could say blue cut in late, and what that does is that he'll make the cut here instead of it being early. So that changes the timing. If you're constantly saying, hey, blue cut in, this guy might recognize, hey, when he gets to the red line, he's going to cut. Like, that's something that you see 9 times out of 10 or something. But now you show it like you're going to stay boards, and then you cut in last second. Then you see separation being created because this forward is going to park up right here, and he's going to make a cut there. And then this defenseman will probably be somewhere here. So it allows that extra little bit of space to get into the zone. Just depends on the timing and how the formation is. In this case, you see that the winger is staying right up on him because he cut early at the red line. Then he kind of pulled away, but that pass was actually a good pass there made from Teal because he had to wait another like split second before he could make that pass. Yeah, man, breakouts is like really tough, honestly. Like, it's funny, like, when it comes to defense, I wouldn't say, like, I feel like defense is not even really that hard to master. Yeah, so this was also piss poor. Could have been a, hey, red cut left. And then he would have been able to essentially maybe break off a little bit. Again, the only issue is, like, you've got these guys that could potentially play that. And you're kind of just working off of 50-50. Like, if it's a timed pass. Because ideally, right, you're going to try to make a pass right now. Which I think I do. What's up, ones? Play League Gaming? Yeah, so this is Lghl. You see how I make this pass here, and it's kind of, you know, they're just man marking it is all it is. And now this guy skates, waits for a bait. He makes a pass late. So this is where it kind of gets tough because ideally, if you give a call out in a trap situation, you're going to make that pass somewhere back here. Because that's just how it is, right? How would you make a pass for a specific call out if you were going to make a pass like right here instead? Like basically where he's at. Because again, it's not going to be like, it can't be like he can't make a pass now. He has to wait till there's space. Bang. Now he can make a pass. Green's out of the play. He took the defenseman out. Or actually, no, he missed that. He actually missed that hit. Spacing in the neutral zone trap in the blue line is crucial. As I play in the C. Yeah, this is like, it's kind of tough because like there's really no true like rule book on what you should be doing. First of all, it does go more on just the chemistry of your team. You have more chemistry with one another, then you know you can obviously talk more with them and understand exactly what they're going to do and like what would work in each like situation. You're kind of playing with guys for the first time. It's like that's not really going to be set, so you kind of have to like simplify the game, but there's got to be some way of still essentially, you know, performing well in those situations. Forward should work more give and goes to the D-man and rotate to the defense, but it never happens. Too many forwards cross creases, it gets boring. Yeah, when it comes to the O-zone, a lot of teams like to work it back up top. The good teams that do it. There are a lot of teams where like forwards are trying to play a 3-man offense to a 5-man defense, where they never make it. Yeah, they never make any passes back to the defense, and it just like you're not gonna really do anything. Those lines never really work. So this was quick breakout. We had a power play, so we're trying to move it quick again. Now it's like working off 50-50. Control. And they clear it out. Yeah, it's a yeah. Because yeah, all they do is they just kind of get it and then try to make a pass when, you know, into 5 guys when there could have been a pass right back to the point easy. Like there's a time and place to force the pass because you do see a lot of teams that do that, but it's a matter of like, you know, being able to mix it up. So here, I wonder if there was a call out, but there wasn't, I don't think. Try to give it to him early. And that's kind of the issue too, because like, you make a pass early, now it's like the forwards are going to have to be the guys that coordinate the break-in, where they'll have to make probably 1, 2, maybe even 3 extra passes, depending on the spacing. I'm lefty real teal. Oh yeah. Okay, this was an excellent play. This is something I got to start doing a little bit more. So what teal calls out here is red go middle. So that's a specific call out for him to go right down the middle. No cuts left or right. Beam line. And this guy pulls the sauce of the century. Whoop. In stride. Onside breakaway. And he's right there from scoring. But that's like, okay, you work it to the perimeter a lot, and then you pull this off. You see how everybody was drawn essentially to the wingers? It was a one-on-one play from the center, and he's not even matching the center. This goes, this may have even worked as like a regular pass for the sauce. Like, look at these guys. They're all drawn to the perimeter because they think that's where, you know, that's where it's been going. All of a sudden, he sends it right down the freaking middle, and this guy's gone. Like, that's something I've never seen. There's a quick transition back the other way. We got to anchor the middle, find the cut, stay over the top. We were able to do that, but we lost the 50-50 on the grab. But that's okay there. Able to pressure, follow the winger. Kind of left the guy, but it's okay. Now, here again, this is where they're trapping. Should be given a call out, but I don't even know if I do give one. I'm trying to think too, like what could even be called. Oh yeah, this is an instance where a blue cut in late would have worked. Because watch what happens. This guy here, a standard cut in, he would just cut right at the red line. If I say, you know, blue cut in late, if he understands what that means, he's gonna go here, he's gonna cut in last second, right at this spot. This guy's gonna follow him, and you see where, watch what their defenseman on that side does. Goes here. Blue actually cuts in. Imagine if the timing was for that. Like, he's here, he can go here and here, and now it's a one-on-one play to the perimeter because this guy's beat, or he would be beat. Now, I made a pass to red. It's not that like it was a bad play because we still go in, but it's like that's the instance of, all right, changing it up. Blue's cutting in, typically at the red line. He makes a late cut though. That was also an option. Then it goes back the other way. I think maybe lost it. And this is kind of tough because like I have to kind of stay in the zone. I do actually get back in time. At least, well, no, I don't. Obviously, I don't. But I was trying to see if I can get back to cover the opposite guy or the winger on, or the forward on that side. She was in great spot right there. He needs to close out that. In terms of what play, or actually, here, let's just see this. Oh, so now he takes it in. I think he may have said, I'm going to skate it. And that's just like the level. I don't really typically do like stuff like that. I'm not able to. Wonder what call I could have made there. Let me see. Here. Can't really find anybody. If I make a pass early to blue, he might have more time to do something with it. I made a pass kind of late to him. Still was able to get it up a 50-50, then he gets hit. 4 check, so a quick counter attack for them. I misplayed that because I was over the top on the forward that Teal was already covering. Or I anchored myself a little bit too far. It's kind of like I should have been more here, and then as soon as this pass is made, I break off that and I make a play on this guy early. I'm a little bit too far to the guy cutting in the middle. Then all he has to do is pull it. There's not a back check. Settled. Shot. Big save from the Tendi. And then quick transition back the other way. Try to get around the bend. Works it down low for a quick wrap. Not a bad play there. Work it back in front. To the point it goes. Looking for a tip. You do, I mean, this... Both teams are defending well. All right, obviously it's 1-0. There wasn't any, like, crazy chances. I mean, 7 shots to 6. We're playing trap again. He's gonna skate. He's gonna take it in himself. He may have been able to do the exact same play here, where he skates here, draws green to him, makes a pass over here, and then maybe he's around the bend this way. He's still able to make green miss, right? It just kind of put him in a weird spot because everybody was sort of in the middle. And he closed that off. Teal was able to close that off. But again, it's like... how that could even be a play or a call out. Hey, I don't even know how you would say it. Blue, I'm gonna pass to you early or late. Like I don't even know. Like you may not even really make a call out there. That's a slap shot play. That's a call out. We'll get back. There's a shot that gets blocked. And we're able to get that there. So quick transition, cut in, cut out. Gonna try to find a round side. Look at that play. That's actually kind of insane. Works it down low, forcing it through 3 bodies, and then bang, tucks it home. So there's your force, right? But no, like that's like a calculated force. Well, I wouldn't really say calculated, but because that is like definitely a force, but it's one of those that you would do, like you would just do, you know. You got red cutting back door. There's really no other option. It couldn't, you know, it could bounce any way, right? And so it's 1-1. But again, it's still a defensive battle, I would say. I think here was, yeah, a cut for red to cut left. So this is where you see where red, he started, you know, back here, goes here, cuts this way, then cuts back. So, you know, you can make a call for just red to cut left, and then red could actually improvise and do that. He doesn't have to wait for a specific, hey, cut, you know, right, left call. He could just do it. And then he knows that, you know, he's going to eventually end up on the left side. Good green, trying to mohawk around the bend. We got blue working it back for a shot. Rebound. So good offense, good break-in. But again, the like structure is definitely better than what you've seen, right? In terms of some of the lower tiers of LG. So now we're going to man mark, stay over the top. Slow them down, wait for the back check. Shot that gets deflected. Rebound, blocked. And then scramble, and they get it. I wondered, though, on that break-in if I could have actually done something different. It's kind of tough because I can't really slow down there. If I do and I anchor one side, then this guy gets around the bend. It's kind of tough. I have to essentially do the same thing where in between 2 guys, if he tries to go here, I can make a play on that. You know, he's going to make a play here. I'm going to have to then just man mark and shadow him, which is, I think, is what I did. But I don't think there's a play where I can slow that down at all. He's like, here, I just have to man mark, stay over the top. Blue does his, you know, the back check well. So they win the 50-50 on that. Shot, deflected, bouncing. And then this is just 50-50s that are being won from the offense. It's not really skill related. It's just good hockey, really. You know, you just work it back to the point, take a shot, and then crash the net for a rebound. I mean, stuff happens. You can blame the game, but we were outnumbered in the slot. I mean, I went for a body check and I over pursued there on the follow up, or on the follow through. That's what stopped me from being able to pick it up. Ideally, though, as much as you can, like body check. My guy, like, I think he does it because of the stupid puck pickup animation. If I stay right here, that's probably a better chance. But because I like fly by a little bit. Like, I don't know if I was assuming I got that puck and I just moved out of the way. You had 3 guys right in the front. I don't know how it's not goal interference right there, huh? For being honest. So third period, 2-1. Still a pretty evenly matched game. D to D. So that was a D to D call. And then this is where you can change the timing of this stuff, right? So you could even make an early D to D pass for some kind of play that you want to, you know, create, or make a pass there, and that's just typically pass for another pass, or you could even make it late. So a D to D could be even made like from right here, right? And then that's where it's probably most likely a take-in from the defenseman here. I'm going to look for a pass, able to find it, create space. Red's kind of almost handcuffed a little bit there. The space was kind of narrow. I'm going to work it, find down low. And that's kind of tough because I was playing in between 2 guys. Technically, I should have stayed on number 72. I do have blue on the help with the 1T back door, far side, but yeah, it's just kind of tough a little bit there. Good thing they missed that pass. Quick transition back up. Look for a play in front. Find the cut. Moving the puck quick. Yeah, it's just the defense of Tampa is really good. I think this is a solid team here too that we're playing. I think they're like near the top of the standings. I think this might have been a cut play for blue, but again, you see how like again they're just kind of man marking it. I think even kind of tough. It's just a loss there. Because there really wasn't much movement needed from forward. I mean, honestly, based on how the defenseman is sometimes, I think that would have worked if it was a late call, like a late cut in. So again, it's like one of these where he gets here, makes a cut, pass there, and this guy just sees it, right? But if you go here and then you make another late call, this defenseman is turned the other way, so like this guy was here, that actually would have worked probably. But it's a matter of him now. He would have to then make a control, like he would be here already, and then he would just have to be able to make some kind of move, you know, based on where this guy's going to try to go to poke check him, or find cuts, you know, depending on if he can extend the play. So, what's up, Sean? How we doing, man? Honestly, it's a good trap. Like, it's a really good trap from Tampa. What's up, playing me? your name's coming up as like a freaking gray dot. I don't even know. It's funny how like TikTok has those like freaking usernames out there. All right, we're gonna back to the point. Looking for a shot, looking for a rebound. I wonder if I could have made that pass right there. No, probably not. I was thinking a pass over to green, but no. Oh, yep. That's just horrible. That's just horrible hockey. I think it's stepped in because I can't pick it up in the corner. So I'm trying to like, what I was trying to do was get this puck and then immediately start going this way based on where this guy was going to try to hit me. And my guy just, yeah, I just took off a little bit too much to the right. See how he kind of confronts me there. He just picks it up. Whatever, bro. Shot, working back to the point. Simple shot, tip, off the post, off the pad, and then it's like, all right, dude. And again, it's just a really good trap. But you think too, it's like you would have to be able to break the timing then, because they're anticipating this kind of play. Now they're playing tighter coverage at the blue line, at least with the defensemen. There would have to be some kind of effort to move these guys from where they're at, because it's so perfect. But it's not even perfect because it's really perfect because of it. Like they've seen our break-in. Like they're just anticipating it. I don't even know what adjustment you would make. That was a good break in there. And then we score off it because of it. This is where it's a little bit different. You know, on the right side here, this guy's playing it perfect almost with how he's man marking as far as the trap. Here, this guy's a little bit too far here, and he allowed Green to get in front of him. It's a good timed pass. There's nothing really the defenseman can do because he's turned around. So he has to just stay over the top and try to close it off as much as he can. And he should have actually played closer to that winger. Then he goes to pursue him, but then the play is already established. And then bang. That's pretty good there. I'd be deep in slumps and hop on your lives and just cook. Oh, at least that's, you know, good. So this is kind of how we're finding blue, where it's like he's really cutting into the middle and he improvises, finds space there. We'll get back to him for a cut, looking for a shot. Wonder if I could have maybe made a little bit of a better pass there, to be honest. Like even delayed a half second. Looking, it's just tough. So now it's 3-on-2. We have to anchor the middle, stay over the top, watch for the cut. And then the guy takes a shot, and you would hope, let's see, based on that, yeah, you would want your forwards to go and pressure that. That's the only thing I can do there, right? You're anchoring yourself between two guys, here and here, right? So 3-on-2, so you have to anchor yourself more to the middle here. And then you can just sort of play off what makes the most sense, right? Hold it there, like you saw him anchored a little bit more to the middle. Try to stop his momentum, and then I'm gonna reestablish over the top on this guy. That's the only thing I have to concern myself with, is just staying over the top of this guy so he's not around the bend cutting towards the net. But you have to slow down the initial puck carrier, and then you reestablish over the top inside leverage on the other forward driving. And then you even have help from your inside as well. So that's proper positioning there. Only thing I'm able to really do on a 3-on-2, which eventually turns into 3-on-3 because we had the back check and we were able to at least slow him down enough. So now here it's, you know, stopping the far 1T, either from a backdoor standpoint or from a wide standpoint. You can either time it, you know, but that's all pretty much what I'm doing. And then that's the same thing where I anchor forward on my side. And then I can make a play on the guy who cuts in. Sorry for it like kind of glitching out. I don't know. I guess that's the software I'm using, but this is the only like software I have downloaded where I'm able to view MP4 files and actually make notations where like I can actually draw on it. If it was a live stream that I'm breaking down, it wouldn't do that. But this is just a recording. So like, I don't know, something with the software, whenever I stop and start it, it like glitches sometimes. So whatever. You guys get the general idea. That's tough. This is tough here. I go a little bit too far to that side. I was anticipating a pass earlier. And that's where I just have to pretty much stop and park up right here. Because I'm in his shot lane. I go a little bit too far. He cuts to my inside. Makes a tying pass for a shot that goes barely off the post and in on the pad. That's tough. That's good patience from the puck carrier. That's just, you know, haven't seen a forward or a guy who like delays like that for so long. Again, work it back down by 2, so we gotta somehow go a little bit quick. Yeah, it's just it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, there has to be more calls from me, because like in this standpoint, the only thing that we're really getting blue to do here is cut in, and they're just man marking it. I mean, this winger Defty is just, he's just waiting there. You know what I mean? Like, I would have to get him to move somehow, which means I have to then I would have to call in and out there, and then I have to find him outside. Control. Wait for a cut somewhere. Work it back to the point. Nothing was there. I mean, honestly, it's really good defense from this other team, to be honest. Now we're trying to go quick. Oh, okay. And then I just sell. I don't even know if I would have had that pass over to red. If anything, I should have just carried it in. I had a lot of speed, it seems like. I go here, and then it's like... Here, it actually should have been an LT. Imagine this, right? A little LT fake, bang, gone. Or actually, little fake here, bang, around the bend. There you go. Break, you know? Like, find this space to my right. And I, like, delay too much. What's up, Palpatine? Thanks for the follow on Twitch. I saw that earlier. I don't know if you were in the stream. I don't even go live on Twitch anymore, really. So now we're gonna have to try to play quick. So these forwards are gonna start to leave early. Try to quick them on or catch them on a quick transition. Work it down low. It's kind of tough spacing. Quick back up. Yeah, they're just staying over the top is all it is. How's the stream so far? We're going good. I mean, the stream's not lagging, is it? 1v1 me, buddy. maybe next time. I do some online versus streams, so maybe you can catch me on one of those. Might even do Hut soon too, so we can definitely get some one-on-ones later on. Just making sure it's a good time for me. Oh yeah, it's good. We're going good. All right, well, this game's kind of chalked, and then we waited like for so long, so we went in the free skate, and I was AFK for like 30 minutes, and then I eventually go back in. And now, then we play another team, Edmonton. So this is a couple teammates that I had before in previous seasons, at least with the left D, and I seen pretty much all the other guys. Pretty decent line, I think. They're pretty much around the same record as us. But as far as the line, I don't really know how well they are, or how good they've been. It's a good trap. Trying to find a pass there. Unfortunate with the offside. Okay, thanks for the follow, Washington, on TikTok. So face off when we go back out. I'm moving too fast, dude. Yeah, this is... I think it was an in and out call, I want to say. I know. Yeah, I mean... See, that could be cleaner, though. I don't know. I just feel like that's almost a 50-50. If they played that better, I mean, that would have been stopped. I mean, obviously, right? It's like basically freaking stating general information. If they played it better, it would have been stopped. Like, yeah, obviously, you know? Like, that's the whole purpose of the game. A quick transition. Got to go in. Don't have her on the bend. It's a good defensive play from the guy. He's probably gonna wait. Doesn't have space. Yeah. Kind of got in his face there. So work it back. I think I might call... Yeah. It's funny how I actually know what call I'm about to make, just based on the fact that we were working it to the right side. So I knew for some reason I was going to go with a D to D, but you see, like, the timing of it. It was here instead of, you know, sometimes typically, like, right here. Just depends on the spacing, because that actually does matter. If it was from back here, he would have had a little bit more space to get this pass here. Because of how close he is, I think he, like, backs up into it. So actually, it wouldn't have mattered. I'm not even sure. But if he was back by our blue line, he maybe could have even sauced it. Like, that's just the difference in the timing of it. If that's a play. Or it would have been delayed a little bit more to potentially red. It's just quicker because we're already at the red line. So it's, like, difficult with the timing. But again, that's like it's a trap that's already... It's like, it's decent trap. And that's really good from the winger standpoint, because that's the route that he's going to be jumping, is the forward on the boards. So now they find play there for far out 1T. I mean, that's like you're just hoping for the best, because I'm hoping I can block that. I mean, I'm not going to be able to stop that 1T. But that's so far out that should be saved from the goaltender. And, you know, like, you can't really blame a defenseman. The only thing I have to do is stay over the top there. If I see them doing that, like, several times, it's not something that you would adjust in the first period. It's more like a second, third period adjustment. Then I could play a little bit tighter. I can anticipate and stay a little bit closer to that winger. But then you also got to make sure that center, the puck here in the middle, isn't, you know, he don't have space to drive through the middle if I'm, like, too far to the winger on my side. Now they're forecheck in, so they're going to cut off the timing that we have with a lot of things. Yeah, it's kind of tough because nobody's really moving forward. That's when they decide to send a forechecker. So that's another good pass. Bang, there it is. See how a lot of the goals right now that we're seeing are not from in the zone established cycle. It's usually always off the rush, and it's literally because of the creative. You have to have a creative break-in from, and it starts from your defenseman, whoever, you know, is controlling the breakout. He's gonna make a call out for a cut. Bang bang, makes that pass. He's around the bend, finds a pass backdoor, and it goes in. We don't get this break-in, right? You know, it could go back the other way for a turnover, quick transition. And that's really how the game of LG is played, how the game of sixes is played in this game. EASHL. This is how it is. This is where the skill gap is. You know, and that's why it's, when you're a team, you got to have really good. You got to have a really good break-in. You got to have a really good trap. And then, you know, like, this is one style of playing the game. Some teams like to just go really quick, like quick transition. And that's all they do. A team that does that is Instincts. You guys have seen them as an esports team. They have probably one of the quickest breakouts you'll ever see. And they do it more times than they ever do a controlled slow breakout. So there's rarely ever really call outs from them. Because they don't need, you know, they're trying to quickly get to 100 miles an hour every time they get the puck. So if a defenseman has to jump up and fill a lane, they're gonna do that. See, this is where, see what I'm saying? This is why it's so tough. Well, well, actually no, this is just basically piss poor play from me, because this guy's away. But this is where, like, if this guy was somehow here, I have to still be able to watch if I'm gonna make an adjustment to play closer to him for like a high 1T right here when I get into the zone, anchoring this guy. I have to be able to watch this type of play, because it's also on your opposite defenseman, but he's also got a 1T that he has to watch too. You see how he has to sort of anchor that opposite, or that the other forward on his side. But then he does a little shimmy. Now he's around the bend. That's a good poke trick from Teal, which was allowed it to be stopped. But that's actually such a difficult thing to gauge, because depending on how fast the guys are transitioning. You know, a 3-on-2, you got to be able to play two guys at one time, and you have to be able to notice the tendencies of those guys. So there, I wanted to go for a hit. My guy winds up picking it up. I go for a friggin' shot instead. Like, it's just friggin' ridiculous sometimes. I think both these games were QC server too, so I mean, I'm rocking like 30 to 40 ping. The reason I don't live stream these games is because my ping is spiking. Like, it's been spiking for a couple years now. Like, it'll spike up. Like, if I'm supposed to average around 30 ping, it'll spike up to like 70, 80. And in a high-level match like this, that's just, you can't have that happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something that you can have. And that's really what's been really holding me back. This might be a D2D. Trying to see if it... Oh, I guess it's not. I was thinking I was gonna, just based on how he was moving. A D2D blue would have worked. The middle, they're anchoring the middle here a lot. So, like, these guys are also inside levers. They're not, like, point blank on this guy. If they were point blank, you could definitely call a lot of, like, either cut-ins or in and outs to get them off you. Some wingers play it like this. So, if you have the speed and the angle... You know, it could be a pass here for Sauce off the boards. He'll be around the bend. Or, you know, same thing on the other side. I think that's what he was trying to do, was find... Not sure if he said in and out there or not. But that's clearly what he was trying to find, was that. Yeah, like, QC servers usually use the most, at least from the guys in the NHL, because they're almost all French. Like, it's funny. North American East gets you around 20. Yeah, like for me, I think it's like 30, because I'm like a central. I get like 10 ping on central. Ooh, what a move! See, this is something again. Yeah, see, I get beat there. That's why. Here, I'm trying to close the distance off him very quickly, but I over pursue on that. So therefore, he's able to get around the bend. It puts almost red in a very tough spot, because he's got to also look at the centering pass, but then he's also going to try to make a move on the guy. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I don't think I got a poke trick there. I think that was the goaltender who made that save. But that's where, like, you lose it. You want to try to fight for it very quickly to reestablish inside. Green goes around the bang, works it back to the point. Tough spot though for Teal. But he's able to work himself out of it. Collide on him. Work it back to the point. Oh my goodness, that's a good pass. Goes off the freaking crossbar. Goalie was not anticipating it too. Nice, you're able to shut him down, at least on the backtrack, but you want to be able to at least stay over the top there. Central gets you around 29, 37. West is 57 usually, but I've had as high as 90. Yeah, for me, like, it's like pretty much the same, I think. Like 70, 80, 90 for the West Coast. Yeah, the goal. Wait, did that go in? No, it's not. It couldn't have. I think his blocker was just on the line or something. I don't even know. Yeah, it's like, wait, wait, what was my ping there? Oh, I had 30 ping there. Yeah, but it was QC, so. Oh, went a little bit too far. Face-off win. Again, they're going to work it back. See what kind of break-in we get here. I think this was a D to D. That's the difference. Back the other way. And we got the best luck we could have gotten. It should be goalie interference if it ever did happen to go in, because like this guy's, well, maybe not, because he's out of the crease. Then he goes back in. I don't even know if that would have been goalie interference or not. But you see, like, how does he not get that though? You're telling me he grabbed that? Green didn't even get it, like not even for like a half second or like a split second. You're telling me that that defender somehow got that? And it's a 5-on-3 for a temporary time because they're literally in the freaking net. And they're gonna quickly transition. I don't even know what that kind of call out was. Some of the QC kids get one ping. Yeah, I know. It's some of them have the luxury of having pretty much offline ping, you know, which is basically nothing. It's friggin' hilarious. I think they have a hardware right in the servers. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it. But yeah, it's like 3-4 ping at most for some people that live in the QC. Yes, you know. So there. Yeah. But like you see the scores, man. It's been like just 1-0, 0-0. Like the goals don't start happening until like the third period. That's what the last game was too. So again, I've just stayed over the top again. I'm gonna get in his way, stay over the top. I don't really have to make a move. Allow the back check to help me out. And then that's how we're able to get that puck. I think he was going for the same play he did last game where he said it red cut middle. So he's gonna fake like he's gonna make a pass over to like blue or something. I think he's just a little bit, yeah, it's just a little bit late on the pass. But that's actually a great like bait, you know what I mean? Where it's essentially going one way, working the other. Like that's what you want to do, right? When a team is established with their trap and you do the same type of like cuts, they're gonna just wait for you. Like they know where it's gonna go. But it's like these slightly different, it's like the changing of the timing. Where it's like, all right, he's going to delay just a little bit more and then wait for something else to eventually open up. If that pass was made earlier, breakaway, possible goal. As long as he's able to get around this other defenseman. Which actually, he played that right. That defenseman in the back. Like, he would have been in an area to actually play red there. Gonna work around the bend. You see the defenseman are gonna stay over the top. And they work it down low, which is really good. But then close off the timing there. So it's decent defense, but like look at these defensemen. It's the same play, right? Stays over the top. Doesn't have anybody else to worry about, so you can play tighter coverage on the puck carrier. He's able to hold his stick out twice. 50-50 lost him that, but he's still able to play it. I mean, this defenseman played it 3-4 times. And then on the last try is what allowed him to get it with the help of a back check. That's the name of the game. That's all you can really do as a defenseman. Now here we go again, 3-on-2. You have to almost do the exact same. And I actually should have been closer on the middle guy. Temporarily. I went a little bit too far. I should be right here. If for some reason this... Well, no, this guy's a left-handed player. So they're like switched right now. This isn't even a 1T option. So there's no reason for me to even concern with trying to play closer to him. I should have actually been more here, wait for this to happen, and then I can play that as soon as that pass would have been made. Even if it goes over to the other side, I can still then play off that, I feel like. I won't have to worry about a 1T. You know, if I was closer to Big Mac here, I would have been able to make a play right there. As long as the puck doesn't somehow go forward and this other guy can get it, but it was still good. Teal was able to play that and actually played both guys at the same time. So it's kind of like you can have both defensemen essentially attack that if you want. You know, like that's the job of a defenseman. To be able to play two guys at once. So here we go again. I have to stay over the top. But then now you see how it's a little bit difficult where I have to position myself to stay over the top here. I don't even know really what you do if like somehow this guy was free to get a potential 1T from right there. I think, does he have gold 1T on? But that's where, like, if they're going to make a 1T shot from there, you would have to then just rely on your goaltender. And that wouldn't have been gold 1T because he's got gold close quarters on. But even, like, right here, it's kind of tough. But that's where a green indicator 1T, that's a tough play there. You would hope that your back check could stop that and support that from the top down. But there's no guarantees of that. It's like the bulkiness of that is dependent on how quick they transition, and then we have to pretty much do our job to try to slow down how fast these guys are moving. Because if they are able to get to top speed and they get into the zone early, like really quick, and the fours are not able to back check like quick enough because they're picking up their teeth or whatever after getting hit or something, whatever it is, and they're just a little bit delayed, then that's where options like that are super tough for a defenseman because you're not gonna be able to stop two guys at once. I misplayed that. That's a good break-in. I think he finds the cut there. Teal does a good job man marking it. He's got the out, like these guys have the outside. His green is like pressuring last second. So like, if a team were to pick up on that, which should be a defenseman picking up on that, if he sees, or even him too, right? Whoever's going to break it out, sees that green's going and pressuring at this time, like you just skate a little bit and find wide, bang, he's around the bend. Teal's going to play that, but he's not going to be able to like stop it at the blue line. There's no way. Because he's going to be stopping, he's going to be anchoring himself towards the middle based on how the coverage of red is through the middle, and then also me as well. But that's like a potential, you know, like when you don't have a trap fully established, teams can make that type of adjustment. So now they're pressuring like crazy. And that's wow. And this is tougher. Like, that's prime positioning. And then this goalie is the best goaltender we've ever seen. Like, that's actually where a goaltender can help you win a game. Is from that. And then now, imagine that being a goal. We only have 2 shots, which is crazy. And we're getting beat on the transition again. Stay over the top. I didn't even get a poke on that. That was another save from the goaltender. They're beating us on the transition. Full pressure. We're not going to play too crazy. Try to find a sauce there just to get the puck out. I wonder if was Red open? Yeah, he was open. I actually could have made that pass to him. Did they fix passing? I'm not sure. I think I heard a patch was coming. Was it Monday? Or I think sometime this next week. Are you talking about icon passing coming back? Wait, what the hell? Yeah, you see where my guy pochecks? I don't understand this. What compels my guy where the puck's over here? My guy, I tap the pocheck and it's like, yeah, you're gonna pocheck right back to your goaltender. There's some type of programming where it's like when it's timed on like the guy making a move or something. Like watch as he pulls it. Like what is compelling my guy to pocheck behind me? I don't actually get it. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten it, but I'm just saying, like, if I was in an area to get it, my guy would have pochecked behind, and I would have missed it. I'm not gonna be able to control that pocheck because that's a tap pocheck. I'm trying to tap it towards the puck. You would hope that when you tap it, it's gonna go to the puck. Even sometimes when you're trying to pocheck like side by side with somebody, you wind up pochecking the legs. But that's where you tend to hold the stick out anyway. But I wonder if here. Oh, I was like, what? I don't even know what that sound was. Should we try to take it in ourself? A couple seconds here. Yeah, that's still 30 ping. Yeah, you see how where you see where the ping was? When I'm playing when I was doing a little test stream last night, my ping was spiking like this. Like literally that's what it was. Like a 30 ping game was getting me up to like 70, 80. Like you just can't. I don't know. Like there's somehow I gotta fix it. But what I'm wondering too is like I have like a port where I plug in like a main like Ethernet cable into it, and then I have two other ports that connect, one to the PC, one to the Xbox. The port itself though, I think is only limited to like 1 gigabyte of data at a time or something, like for like transferring data. So if for some reason it's somehow not like when I'm streaming, it's not able to handle it because it's only using up the like whatever one gig for the stream or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm not even sure if I had gotten because I was kind of talking about with somebody else last night about it, and I don't kind of came to the conclusion maybe it's the Ethernet cable. I needed a better Ethernet cable that can handle up to greater speeds, but now I'm thinking I don't even know if I get a better port. But the ones that I want would have like the one that I would need would be something that's like over $100 freaking, and I'm like, okay, I'm not even sure if I want to do that. My homie be leaving pizzas over the middle with no icon. Well, he's got to get better with the analog passing. Pass with the left stick. Pass with the RB, or with the trigger. I don't even use the icon passing that much. I just. Apparently, you can actually like sauce the pass too by holding the button down. It's a good transition here. Yeah, it should be control. Yep, and there it is. Because now they're gonna pressure, right? So now you delay. There's the space right there. You don't have that winger on the boards anymore. So Green is able to find it far side on the outside, and then it's a good play. This is where offense can be created from the other team's forecheck. What a move! I want to know how to do that because I've actually never done that before. What Blue does here, it's like using the LT. It's almost like an LT pivot from previous years. Does that and spins right to his forehand. That's actually an incredible move. Try to run 2 separate cables, or yeah, get a better cable. Yeah. For me, I can't like. I guess I could. I wonder if I could actually do that. I could technically run 2 different cords if I do it right, because I'm actually gonna try it in like I have a cord, like I have the cord in like a weird place right now. I was thinking about drilling a hole through like either the ceiling or the wall and have it going through the wall up probably into the attic and then down, because I'm on the 2nd floor. Router's on the 1st floor, so I have to go through the wall. I might have to do it like a different way. But if I could do that, maybe I could just send 2 cords then up. Well, no, I couldn't do that actually because I only have one. I'm trying to think now. Because I think the router only has like one Ethernet cable like port. So I have my own like separate port that comes out of that I'm connecting the one Ethernet cable to, and then having 2 other cords connected to whatever I need. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Like, I don't want to spend too much money on something or waste money on stuff. I gotta do the proper research myself then to figure out what it might be. Because the router itself is fine. Whenever I'm not streaming, I don't have an issue with it. So there's got to be something with figuring out how I can get either another Ethernet cable up or a better port that can transfer more data at a time, or bandwidth, I guess. All right, 6. So we know that this team's gonna be pushing. So now it's just about trying to slow them down as much as we can, and then clean breakouts as much as you can. It should be easy to get clean breakouts because this team's gonna be pushing. So there you go. You got green. He can just do his best. Yep. Ditches it off. Potential 2-on-1. There's the counter attack. So I mean, if you get 1 goal here, like, that pretty much seals it. But there's no need to even rush or do anything crazy. So I thought this was banned. I didn't think you could do that of what they just did. Here he got board pinned, but he did a self board pin. I thought that was against LG rules. Maybe if you like get it as soon as you get the puck, there was like some sort of like exception to it where you can't like spam it to like avoid a body check. I don't know how, if that was something that was legal and they just didn't see it, or if it was like illegal and they just didn't see it. So here it's kind of tough, right? Because again, we couldn't get the puck out there, so I can't bull rush, even though maybe I could. But it's that chance of I go for the hit, he dishes it off for him. He's got wide open space. These guys are not going to get there in time, so I have to. I saw it delayed. I'm like, let me just stay. You got Teal on the potential back check around, right? I'm gonna try to just delay it as much as I can. What's up, Bird Feeder? How do you study film for a pixel game? Are you talking about the glitches that are happening, or just the fact that it's a video game? And you know, people get on me sometimes about like, oh, why do you watch film, bro? It's like, dude, like it ain't even that serious. I mean, why do you like? Why do high school coaches or NFL coaches or hockey coaches or, you know, in the real world study film? You know what I mean? Because they want to get better. And plus, we're playing at a goddamn league, which is no different than any other league. If it was real life on skates, or if it's you know, whatever, through a pixel game, it's the same concept. Especially, you know, since I'm trying to improve my skills for a long-term esports run, right? One day. So I gotta, you know, this is something that can be done. So this was a failed breakout, but that's a 50-50. I get the puck, I get immediately poke checked. Was able to block the shot initially, but then they find a backdoor feed. Teals was in a pretty decent spot. It's just somehow turned at the last second. What league is this? Is Lghl. And this is the highest level of it besides esports. Let's try to run. Okay, never mind. Actually, I already read that. So puck back up. Oh man, yeah, almost out there, and there it is, score. So that's it. So that's just being able to. So again, like, main thing here is being able to adjust to the pace of NHL compared to AHL. Breakouts is something obviously I need to get better at. So actually, what I also want to do is we kind of I've got all this other film too. There's esports footage I could also break down as well. I don't even know which one I would want to break down though, because I mean, what really sucked was like the esports run was just sort of like, it was tough, you know. It not even really, if you take the performance out of it, just like my mindset going in just wasn't like very good. Because like for me, part of the reason I wasn't streaming these past 2 months, for one, it's been because of the internet not working, but second, it's because I had a freaking relapse of long COVID. I had some health issues. My energy was super low. If you guys see my recent like gameplay videos, my energy was never really high. Starting to get better with that, which is why I'm, you know, I'm like anxious to get back into streaming. But I mean, the worst timing in the world was like it started to get worse right when the league started, and it's like that's just the worst debut you could ever really have. Like it, the more I think about it, the more it's just like what the hell do you want me to do, you know? Brian playing goalie has been horrid this show. I don't know what's different, but something's off. I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed things about goaltending. So this is our lineup for esports that we had at Sharks Gaming, which is actually still going on, by the way. But in this case, I think this is the last day. Oh, what's up, Nick? How we doing, bro? Haven't been streaming for a little while. Kind of making the return. This is the esports footage of the last day where we had to win, I think, 4 straight. I think we only had 1 win. So it wasn't the best. We were shy of the playoffs by 4 points. But again, man, it's like, it was just kind of a tough situation, I think, from start to finish. I wasn't mentally or physically prepared for the games. I feel like it's like weird too, because like some Wednesdays I felt relatively good, and then I think almost every single Thursday I had like absolutely no energy plan. Like it's like the worst time to try and play it too. Like literally, I was playing the games, and I'm like in between the whistles, I'm like sitting here like this. I'm just like leaning back in my chair. After, you know, second, third game, I'm like leaning over like this. Head, you know, my head is down, trying to like recover. You know, like I didn't have anything. I didn't have any good vibes. I couldn't even really bring anything to the table. It's just one of those things, right? You got to be able to battle through it. Like for me, I know that there's a lot left on the table when it came to this. Like we could have definitely at least gotten to the playoffs. Like there were plenty of games where if I came through, right, you know, we would have been in a better spot. Great job on Player of the Week. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that was that was actually kind of shocking to me a little bit, because like I wasn't even really the highest rated player that week, but they somehow still granted me it. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, like these games we never played against. I think we only played against like 2 like really good teams, right? We played Instincts the first game, or the first 2 games. Day 1, like our very first 2 games of the league, played Instincts, And then we had a stupid ass glitch actually, so we only actually played him once. We had to forfeit the first game because we had a bug with the club. We went to practice mode to like go over a few things, and then what wound up happening was we tried to go back into the lobby to get ready, and then the guys who were in the club could not load into the lobby. It was like a weird glitch, and it was like something where it bugged the club out. So we're like reading up on it online, and there's like a little Reddit page or something of somebody who dealt with the issue and asked an EA like representative, whatever. And all they said was, "Yeah, we don't have a for sure fix. The only fix we have is to delete the club and make a new one." It's like, oh yeah, good job, EA. Can't fix the game, right? But you're gonna tell us, yeah, we gotta scrap the club. Imagine having like 1,000 games ranked #1. You go to practice mode, you come back, and yeah, you can't. Yeah, you gotta delete the club. Like, I'm sorry, what? So like, we actually had to make a new club here. This is actually new. We don't even have the logo on our jersey of what we have because we had to freaking delete the club. Like, I mean, that's just EA Sports is in the game. What do you need to join this club? So if you go to leaguegaming.com, you could join the regular like LG, which is, you know, the main like league gaming league essentially. So you basically just find a button that says sign up for next season, and then you put in your, you know, position, your server, and like whatever, right, your gamer tag, and then that's how you join that way. And then there's esports. I think there's other like mini leagues that go on through the site. There's like an SMP or something, like a Saturday Night Puck or something. It's like a one-day thing. I've never really been a part of it, but yeah, then there's, you know, esports to sign up through that as well. The website honestly is kind of clunky in my opinion. You don't really know where the hell you're going. Like, you just have to navigate the site a little bit to get familiar with where everything's at, because it's like really freaking clustered. But it's a good league to get into. I feel like if you're trying, like, if you feel like you're a decent player and you've never really joined the league but you don't really know if you're ready, like, you could definitely learn through LG. Like, you'll be playing with a different, you know, basically a different group of guys each season. And then based on your performance, you can move up, starting to see if you start. If not, you go to NCAA and you can grow there, even if the teams are not all that good. But it's at least a start. Then you can move up. You can potentially get drafted if you play a certain number of games. Then you can potentially play in the NHL right after that. Or if not, you return back to the CHL. Finish out, like, I think another 2 seasons if needed, as long as like certain criteria was met. And then you can move up and become like basically a veteran player, and that's how you can play in the ECHL, the AHL, and then the NHL. So I'm hopefully trying to get back into the end next season. I had 2 seasons in the end in S24. Then I took a season off, changed my gamer tag, and didn't do any scouting. So that's like 3 strikes, you're out at the end. So that's why I was in the A this season, but I'm not even sure. They had like new owners too, from what I heard. So like a lot of guys were getting bumped down and other guys were moving up. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like just in these games, like, I never really had much of a huge presence when it came to offense. Like, just really wasn't, I guess, like, moving the puck very well. Wasn't controlling the puck well. Even defense, like, again, like, defense was not an easy part either. I think that's like my biggest strength is the defensive part of the game, but then that even was kind of an issue too, because I just wasn't you know, like, these guys who play in the main division are actually quite damn decent, and I haven't had nearly as many reps against like those high level players as I wanted to. But yeah, it was kind of tough a little bit. I kind of want to see, like, there was a game, I want to say it was week 3 Wednesday, where I think we played Legends Never Die, and that's a really good team. They finished like first in one of the leagues. This is Spectrum. Where is what's it, this? Yeah, Legends Never Die. We got like outplayed. in both the games, but we still found a way to win. Because of like the counterattack. Like this team was not aware of how we were counterattacking, but we like were getting outplayed by like every single margin. Like they had like well over 10 minutes, like 15 minutes time on attack. It was like the most craziest thing. But they do that at the freaking start. You see how they just send it to the front? My guy's not able to get it. It goes up my skates. This guy just reaches through. I know for a fact he went through my skates right there. Bang. It's a 1-0 game. Also went through the goaltender, it seemed like, too. But, you know, we won't comment too much on that. Let me see. Better angle right here. Hold my stick out. I can't even see what's going on, but seems like the guy's stick broke and his puck still goes through. Whatever. Like spat over my mic. 1-0. Legends never die. Bang. 2-0. That's actually nuts. So what they did there was quick breakout. They found space. I can't really play tight coverage on that. I have to just man mark. But I man marked a little bit too far. I overextended. Tried to do a stick lift. Pulls it. Finds a cut. He goes in and he finds a back door. Seemed like T was there, to be honest. Guy was just in a turn. So that was tough. So 2 for 2 shots. That's a designated cut there. He told the winger on that side to cut in. Now they're going to switch. Quick. That's got to be chemistry there if I've ever seen it, really. If you notice, like, a team that's able to, like, shred a team in terms of time on attack, it's always because they have really good offensive defensemen, essentially. They have defensemen that essentially run the whole offense. Like, they're the ones that control it for so long, and they're not afraid to give it back to them. And they don't get rid of the puck very quickly. They're just excellent with the puck. Like, that's the skill gap that I would need to learn if I really want to take my game to the next level. It's just not there. And it's not like a ping thing. It's just a skill. It's just a freaking skill related thing. So I'm going to go around the bend here. And I get shoved up the puck easy. You like 6s more than 3s? Yeah, definitely. As soon as I joined 6s back in Esports 22, I was hooked. Like, I just loved it. As far as like I'm a 3s player that transitioned to 6s. I started 3s back in like NHL 19. And then that, you know, I took that for like another, what, 2-3 years? 3 years, right? Because it's, yeah, NHL 19. And then, yeah, we made the switch in 22. And then, yeah, I was just basically hooked on. And then I think a year later from that is when I officially joined Lghl and started playing that. Also, that website is a mess. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's not easy to like navigate. Even like the app too is kind of clunky because you can get it on your phone for Lghl. It's just weird. What's up, Skullbop? How do you have passing buttons? No, this is from prior to the latest patch. This is like a couple weeks ago. So whenever the last patch was I think it was last week. That's when they took the passing icons out. This is from I think a week prior to that. If you got to try to link up soon. Yeah. Honestly, you know, whatever you want to play. Are you thinking about getting like? Are you thinking about getting NHL, Nick? Or I mean, honestly, it's not. I'm not even sure if it's worth it, man. To be honest, like, unless you're like trying to be competitive, it's not. It's definitely not a casual game. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's just like this game online is built for competitive players only, and that's it. Especially if we're going to be facing this type of talent. Do you think passing icons will ever come back? It's what I heard is supposed to come back in the next patch, which I think is Monday. From what I heard, I'm not sure how true it is, but I think it was like when they changed whatever they changed, they like something broke with the icon passing, so now they have to obviously fix it. So it's going to take another obviously a couple weeks to get that fixed, because that's how much time it takes for EA to fix one thing. But yeah, Nick, I mean, I'm down to play any other game, honestly. Like, we could always play COD or something. I miss the icon passing. Yeah, it's honestly, I don't know. I haven't really used it too much. Look at this team, like they got five shots. I think the like problem that we had was like we just didn't have much of a formation when it came to breakouts. When I'm trying to like review what the issue was in terms of why it was tough for us to really compete, it just kind of seems like, you know, there really wasn't much to our breakout besides quick transitions. If a team was already trapping, it was like ridiculously difficult for us to get in. First shot there, tipped. I don't know if you answered the question or not, but does the website just end to a Discord server? There is an official Discord server for LG. I think it's on the website. I think when you sign up, you can join, or somebody should send you a message for joining the Discord. It's actually easier to get more information on stuff like that, but I don't know. But yeah, no, the Discord doesn't like manage the games or anything like that. It's just a matter of like finding other servers, like scouting servers, or trying to link up with guys. That's usually what the Discord's only pretty much for. But the website itself handles all the games and the lineups and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this was, I think, a quick transition, right? So they sent full house, 3 guys. I don't know why they did that. Here, Bear, and then it's just a quick transition, find a shot, score. Been playing Marvel Rivals a lot. It's been fun. Yeah, I've heard about that. It kind of looks like an Overwatch game to me. I don't know. I haven't really gotten in, like I haven't really seen too much of it, but from what it looks like Overwatch, like it's just a different version of it. I know like Fortnite got a new game mode. It kind of looks like Valorant, right? Like Valorant, Counter-Strike, which I thought was actually kind of cool for like a Fortnite. What's up, Chris? That's exactly right, Hack. What's up, folks? How we doing, guys? How do you make the camera leak back when you go on the rush? So I hit the back button. If you have auto zoom, I think it's auto zoom, you have to turn that off. And then when you hit the back button, which is the opposite of the start button, I'm not sure if that's what it's called on PlayStation, if it is that. But on Xbox, I think it's the other button. It's the opposite of the start button. I just got freaking deked out of my shoes right there. Yep, there it is, guys. Yep, there it is, guys. They definitely would have scored there if they had like 2 seconds left. Yeah, like CS and S&D. Yeah. I don't know. Like, those kind of games to me, I'm not really too much into it. Like, I would be down to try, like, the Fortnite game mode. But I don't know about Marvel Rivals. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. I know, like, Black Ops Zombies has a new map, right? I was actually thinking about doing that, but I don't know. Yeah, you see how I just got absolutely, like, my skates came off me, like, right there. Like, I literally got, like, my ankles broken. Marvel Rivals is like Overwatch, and Fortnite mode is like CS and S&D. Yeah. So I don't know when it comes to this team's roster. Legends Never Die. I don't know how much of the same guys came back. We were somehow able to win, I think, 2 games against this team, like in overtime. See how I can't break the puck out there? I have to get it off of 50-50. Like, that's something that's not good. There's not much movement here. Wow. It's good patience. Couldn't get on the rebound there. See the new Indiana Jones game? Yeah, I saw it. I didn't know it was actually fully released yet. Look at this team's cycle though. Like, they get in around the bend. Not gonna force a pass. Not gonna force it. Not gonna force it. Try to find a 1T. Work it back to the point. Work it down low. Control, control, control. Work it down low and around. Work it back to the point. Shot. Looking for a tip. Like, it's how they use all 5 guys, but like they all know where each other are at. That's a great move there. And scored. I tell you that the only way we had beat this team is from just a quick transition, because they had 3 guys deep, and you got somebody leaking. There's a little shimmy shimmy mohawk, find a forehand, and he's around the bend and he scores. Like, Ghost was actually decent. Like, he was, you know, he was playing out of his mind when he filled in. Because this isn't even really our main lineup that we were rocking with. We had Holland play right wing, and we had somebody else play center. See, here's where I should be giving a call out. I think I may have went D to D. I don't know if that was the call or not. Actually, wait, let me see that again, because this is now... Yeah, this is a bit tougher, because like it's honestly the way what really helps out the trap. First of all, these guys are playing up, and then these guys are tight coverage. Like, what do you do? Even if you work it the other way, this guy would eventually close the distance on green, unless there was some extra cut that was made. But even still, what makes it so difficult is not only that these guys are tight coverage, it's how close these other 2 defensemen are, which is actually how I typically play more up whenever, like, you know, the other team has the puck, because I'm trying to take what comes my way. Like, if you tell Blue to cut in, then this guy could still play that, even if this guy's not quite there, right? Go with a cut in and out, just depending on where this guy is going to go. It would have to be Blue cut in and out, see what they do, and then you have to be able to adjust from there. Then there has to be somehow we can get Red involved, where it's either we play it to the perimeter, then we look for a middle pass, like what we saw in the Nashville game, where Teal takes it and just freaking saucer passes it right down the middle for Red. Like, if you do that, then you narrow the trap inward, because now they're going to be afraid that that's going to be a play that we can go to, and then it opens up the perimeter again. But then you also got to be able to change the timing of it. Because if you keep passing it from right here, and these guys keep breaking on the same, in like the exact same areas, you know, the team's gonna get wise to what you're doing. But I don't even know, in whatever situation it is, what do you do? I don't even, like, you got to be able to get the top speed somehow. And it's also like, yeah, it's a D to D pass. Watch what happens. Like, and then we got glitch galore here. I don't know what the hell happened there. But like, again, it's like Teal has to take it. He didn't have an immediate pass to Green. This guy's now tight on him. we've got this other defenseman holding the blue line. Unless it's like, oh my gosh, bro, I don't even know. It would have to be what I want to see, like D to D, and then green cut in. Watch. It would have to be like that, D to D, green cut in here. Like this guy eventually works his way here, and then if he could somehow get to his inside, this defenseman's too far up to where he has a lane. That's the only way. But look how it's like, it would have to be so close like that. And actually, it worked out because of the delay on the pass. He was able to find blue. Again, this only works because the opposite defenseman, or the defenseman here, is turning the other way, and blue's on the inside of the winger on that side, so it created a little bit of space. He won the 50-50 though. It's a tight wall you're skating into. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, like, there would have to be some kind of read to figure out what can be done. Again, like, when you get to this stage though, this is main division esports against a high-level team. Chemistry has to be the highest it's ever been. And that's the only issue, because it's really not that, you know, like I haven't played enough with this team to have that established where I know where guys are going to be with absolutely zero comms made, you know what I mean? And even if you do, like, give a call out in terms of the exact positioning of where the guys go, may not be what we're looking for, you know, like it's like you just don't know. Like, the only way we've been ever able to generate offense was from more so of a quick transition. See, it's under quick transition. He's gonna try to find green, finds red. It's like the only way we're getting close is from just quick transition. Every time this team's full trapped up, it's like almost impossible. Like, they work the defenseman. They work the friggin' defenseman. He's walking to the goal line too. 4 guys caught deep here, and he's gonna just send it right into traffic. Let's hope for the best EA bounce you've ever seen in your life. That's really how these teams play, though. When there's space there, they're gonna take it and they're gonna friggin' force it. But it's like a calculated force. It's not just sending it into guys where it's like you're outnumbered in the slot and you're just blindly throwing it there. They're calculating the force because they've done it enough times. They know exactly where to get to the spots that are deadly. Like, look at this defenseman again. He's gonna walk it, find a cut there. Now I would have to play tighter. Yeah, I was a little bit lackluster on it. I have to play tighter to that. But that's where it's like, again, the timing of the defenseman on my side who has the puck near the high slot, near the point, whatever. I don't really see that type of, like, patience level and that type of, like, defenseman ever drive down into where I'm at. Almost. He's gonna find a 1-2. And again, I'm like looking at myself and I'm just thinking like, this isn't, I'm over pursuing. I'm not locked on defensively like I could be. It's that kind of stuff where I'm like, you know, now I gotta think, all right, how was I feeling that day? Because that's just, you just throw your arms up and you go, well, it's like I'm not even playing. It's like I'm playing injured almost. Like, what really sucked for me was, what was it? It was like late. No, well, it was like sometime in like September, late September. The game dropped late September. I want to say it was like a week later. I started to feel worse. And then as each week went on, it got worse and worse. So I had like high levels of fatigue. Brain fog was there throughout the day. And when it got to the nighttime, I was like checked out almost. Again, I was like, some days I could feel good. Other days, that was just zero. So like, And now I'm thinking like Wednesdays, like the night before, I would get enough sleep so I feel at least okay throughout the day. The problem is though with like when, like for me, whenever I, you know, for long COVID 4 years now, the biggest issue for me was waking up with any level of energy. If you think about like long COVID, for the guys that actually do believe that it's real, because some guys don't believe it, but obviously I had some kind of autoimmune disease, right? If we're not going to believe in the term of long COVID, that's fine. Something was still hurting me on the inside, right? The problem is like what it felt like was like if somebody like let's say you wake up, somebody takes a big syringe, sticks it inside, no pause, no nothing, actually sticks it inside and proceeds to squeeze out all the reserves of energy to where I'm like maybe a 5%, 10% at most. And then with that 10%, you got to go to work an 8-hour shift day doing construction, constantly moving around, thinking and working with the hands. Come home, weight lift, then go and do, you know, my other stuff I had to do throughout the evening. Then come home and play this. It's like 10% battery, make the phone battery last the whole day while also using it. Is that even possible? Like that's where it kind of, that was what I was dealing with. It wasn't to that degree recently, I guess, but I mean, I'm just talking about as a whole. Like I was completely freaking destroyed for 4 years now, and it's, I started to get, so there's treatment for it that people are looking into. If anybody's ever heard of hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which isn't covered by insurance because it's not, it hasn't been approved to essentially treat long COVID, but people have been doing it. So it's basically this like big chamber filled with oxygen. It's like a mini submarine almost, right? Like a tube or something I'm essentially in. There's a breathing mask that I wear, and what they do is they compress high levels of oxygen into the body or into the chamber. And so I'm breathing in well above normal levels of oxygen. Yeah, it's like pressurized oxygen to it. Yeah. And like there's like different depths to that. It's like kind of like going like scuba diving almost, where it's like different altitudes give you different levels of the oxygen. So the lower you go, which is I guess the higher the number you go, the more oxygen is being compressed into the chamber. And what that does is that's supposed to like allow your body to breathe in that high level of oxygen, and then after it's like I stay there for like an hour. I can like sleep, do whatever, read whatever I want to do. Can't really do anything else. Then you get out and you take the mask off, and that's supposed to trigger a lot of the, you know, it's like it's basically supposed to trigger the body to, you know, wake up essentially, because now you have all this oxygen to work with where I didn't have it before. Because what the problem with long COVID is that it stays in the body and it essentially just inflames everything in the body. So it inflames the lungs, it inflames the heart, the brain, the immune system, the, you know, the freaking central nervous system. Like it just inflames everything. So, and then you got the topic of potentially mini blood clots, right? Which is also formed from the inflammation of the body, and that's what's triggering the fatigue, because the blood's not able to circulate as well as it needs to, and the oxygen's not getting to the different parts of the body that it needs to. And it's, you know, you got like another conversation of spike proteins, and that's what causes the inflammation. So it's kind of like, that's why the hyperbaric actually was set to work, because again, it's like my body's got a lack of oxygen, so I don't have energy when I wake up. I don't have it throughout the day when I'm super fatigued out. I can't really think, concentrate. Like, I had issues speaking to people. Like, I couldn't really talk because I couldn't think. I couldn't even concentrate on what people were saying. Trying to go to work, it's like, oh my gosh, bro, that was the worst thing. So I'm on my currently I'm on like my 19th. I'm on my 19th session. I can definitely feel a difference, not to like a huge degree, but I can feel like subtle changes where I feel like I wake up with a little bit more energy. It's not like drastic to the point where I'm like able to wake up and just like, wow, let's go. Like, you know, it takes a little bit still. Seems like the brain fog is a little bit less. Seems like I'm able to think and, you know, obviously speak, right? Like, if I had to go live about a month ago, you guys would have seen me. I don't know, bro. Like, it would have been a... You guys would be like, what the hell happened? Like, this guy's not even, like, playing. It was like, that's honestly probably just one of the worst, it's been some of, like, the worst moments in my life, right? But it's like... It's stuff that, like, it also kind of builds your, like, resilience a little bit, mental toughness, because there was a time where I was able to work through it, where, like, even if I was tired and all that kind of stuff, I'd keep very hydrated. I'd be conservative of the energy levels and all that, and I would only do what I could. Now it's like I'm able to do it more and more again. So that in and of itself, you know, it would obviously, hopefully, will get me back on track with just everything happening outside, you know, in life. But and it's also, you know, hopefully it can also affect this too, because I want to be able to compete, you know, really focus and dial in, you know. It's kind of just like when I was playing in these games, it was just like, what? I don't even know what I'm reading there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even... I can break down this film and just be like, what the hell is going through my head sometimes? Why am I going to the right? You know what I mean? Like, wide ass open to the middle, even if, you know, we had the coverage there. My job is to still stay over the top of both guys. It just doesn't make sense. And then I wasn't able to break out the puck at all, really, besides that. Like, these games were just... It was, like, less on, like, being able to actually learn, and... It was just more of me just, like, trying to stay in there. Because I know if I was feeling better, the games would be different. It just flat out would. Like, I'm just... 22 shots to 9. 3-2 game. We actually do win this. See how quick they just... I mean, that's just insane, bro. I don't even think I got the poke on that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Took a slap shot there. Fortunate bounce. And it goes in off a trickle in. There was no call out there. I just blasted it. Saw green drive. But we did not deserve to win this game, dude. It's the opposite of training at high altitude. You get more oxygen in your blood, makes it more efficient. Right, it's like the whole point of the hyperbaric was like to trigger. It's like supposed to have your body get used to the high levels of oxygen. So like you're breathing that normally, because actually normally we breathe about like what 20% pure oxygen or something like that. Like I don't know what it is, like 20% out of 100 of like oxygen or something. But when you're in the hyperbaric, you breathe like 99 to 90 or like 95 to 99% oxygen. So it's like way above normal. So your body gets used to that, and then you take the mask off, and that's supposed to be the trigger to activate everything within your body to fight off the remains of long COVID and bring your inflammation down. That's the science behind it. Because actually the hyperbaric is supposed to help treat like deep wounds or something. Like if you have your... Like if you had like a deep wound on your foot or something, you can go into the hyperbaric, and that would activate stem cells within your body to regrow and help heal certain issues, right? So yeah, it's definitely got some good benefits to it. It's just, you know, for long COVID, it was more or less like the just kind of just getting, you know, it's not like well known yet. I guess they're still trying to get that approved by the FDA. So hopefully, you know, down the line it could be covered by insurance. But for me, I had to pay out of pocket, which is, you know, I'm willing to do that if it's able to help me out. So hopefully it does, right? Like I'm like scheduled to get 30 total sessions. I could have paid for 40, but I don't know. Doctor was telling me like 30 is a good place to start. If I need more, depending on how much, because like, and what really sucks too is like people, I think a big controversy is the vaccine itself. Rather, the vaccine helps or does more damage. In reality, from what the doctor was telling me, is that I could have done more damage with the vaccine as well. Like the reason it's 4 years right now for me and counting is because I was getting my routine vaccine shots, and apparently it actually does make it, actually could give you long COVID from that, which is like, to me it's like weird, because like it's supposed to help prevent the damage of it. Like people that are unvaxxed, you know, they have a better chance, or you know, of having it do like way more damage. You know, people died obviously from, you know, people who are unvaxxed, you know, and the vaccine's supposed to help like lessen the damage of it, like prevent the damage that it would do. It's not gonna completely stop you from getting it, but it's not gonna, hopefully it doesn't do all the damage. Like, look at me getting a thumbnail, like I'm about to put that online, you know what I mean? Like, it's actually funny. But then the doctor's telling me, yeah, the vaccine could also give you long COVID. So I may have the fact that I was unvaxxed before and got it, then I get the vaccine, and now that's a double layer on top of that. It's like it's a freaking lose-lose then. Like, what it's like a pick your poison. Let me go all these years unvaxxed and have something happen where you're hospitalized and you're on the brink of death, or get the vaccine and still get long COVID, or basically put the virus back in you. Like, there was an MLB player that spent some time in the Red Sox named JD Drew, who slept in a hyperbaric chamber every night. You could sleep in it. At least when he was at home. Dude owned his own. Oh yeah, there is like stuff that you can rent, but those, it's like, those only go to a certain altitude. Like it's only they call it, so I guess like the average is like 1.5 for like a regular hyperbaric chamber. It's like 1.5 is usually the starting point for like an actual chamber that these clinics have, if they actually have it, obviously. If you get your own, I forget what it's called, it's like a soft chamber, which is something that you could rent or maybe even purchase, which costs a whole lot of money, but I guess you could rent it, and that only goes up to 1.3. So it's like less. It would take longer for any type of like major effect to happen, but apparently it does work too. You could rent it and have it there, and you know, yeah, I don't really know what the difference is really in terms of like going from like 1.3 to like 2.5 or something like that, because apparently that's what it could go to. Like, I'm currently at the setting of 2.2, and they call it like 2.2 atmospheres. It's like 8 ATA. So I guess there's more pressurized oxygen. It takes longer to get to that pressure or to that altitude. So I don't know. I guess it's more oxygen being pumped in, as opposed to if it's 1.3, it's like it's still pure oxygen, but it's just not that much. But it still helps you. It would still help you long term, depending on what you're basically using it for. Because yeah, like if you're like sleeping in it, that's like kind of crazy a little bit, but I guess it still would work. The whole point of it though isn't necessarily breathing it in and staying in the chamber. Like, the only purpose of why we're in it for an hour, or even maybe longer sometimes, is so that your body can get used to breathing that level of oxygen. The whole purpose of it is when you take the mask off, because that's the trigger that it needs to actually start activating the stuff in your own body. Now we face this team again. And now this team is just as fast as they used to be, and they're going to be, I think, losing it there. He did not have to take that penalty. That was not a good penalty to take. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's something I've been, like, managing for so many years, and it's crazy, too, because, like, when I look back at some of the streams, some of the, you know, times, you know, playing on some of the other teams that I've been on, you know, there's definitely days where I can be hype and play. And if you notice too, like sometimes in a lot of the streams in Ultra 24, I would have like a lot of energy at the start of the stream, and then throughout the stream I would be very, you know, I like wouldn't have the same level of like energy. Like there were many times where that had happened. It's like tough too, because there were certain expectations on being able to perform and like get the guys ready and how they want it to be, because like we actually had a decent competitive club back in 24 for a time through the, you know, early spring, late summer. And there was a lot of tension created at times, and it's like, all right, I'm trying to be the captain, right? So I'm trying to be strict, and the guys wanting me to be strict. And then there's a lot of times where I'm trying to play, and I'm like just absolutely have no freaking energy. And as a captain on the team, you got to be the guy that brings the energy to the table, and it just wasn't there. So it's like, what do? You know what I mean? It's just unfriggin' fortunate. And it sucks too, because it's like, again, late at night. Got to wake up early the next morning. But it's like, this is something I really want to do, you know what I mean? I can't let the world stop just because of, you know, health issues. Like, at some point, there's got to be some sort of resilience where we're just like, all right, we're just going to play no matter what. I mean, again, there was like a couple days I played really well, and we actually went 4-0. Like, was that just by chance, or is that just because, you know, because I was doing well, that had a bigger presence on the team? I mean, obviously the guys also performed too, because you need a full, you know, team of 5 that are actually performing, or 6, I guess, with the goalie, that are performing in order to actually win, you know, consistent games. But then, you know, Thursdays were the worst days for me. I was trying to play. It's like, dude, this isn't even like... I was actually... what's crazy, I was actually on the brink of saying, hey, guys, I'm going to take time off. Because, like... Again, like, week 1, that was not a good time for me, man. Like, I felt really, really freaking bad. And that was, like, the start of November. It's like end of October. What's crazy too, like I remember I got the offer to join this team, and it was like that same weekend, it was when I started to feel worse. And then I went into that next weekend. I think it was, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks prior to the event was when I was given the offer, and I'm like, I don't want to stop this now. Like, the whole point of this whole year was for me to eventually play esports, and now, oh, I'm feeling bad, can't play in that. It's like, at what point do I just say, let's just get it going, you know what I mean? But it didn't really help the fact that it was still holding me back. Like, it's been doing that. It's like having that nagging injury just keep popping up. And then that's what eventually stops a guy from playing. Like, you know, he's not able to play at his peak. But I mean, health always has to be first, I would say. Like, look at where, like, look at how I'm skating, dude. You see? You, like, laser focus on me. I'm, like, just skating in La La Land. I mean, yeah, full pressure, but let's see how we do here. I mean, that actually wasn't a bad pass, but, you know, full pressure. Where's my trap at? Yeah, this is not, you know, whole blue. Well, I mean, I guess there's really no point in holding blue line there. Ghost was just cooking, I guess, huh? That guy was on a whole nother platform. He just made the whole team miss. Like, goddamn, he got 4 guys trailing him. I've never even seen that. But I mean, I just feel like if I was better, we would have made playoffs. That's just how it comes down to. If I was able to play at my peak, we definitely would have made playoffs. But I mean, it's no excuse. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie though, like, it wasn't the best setup going in. If I'm gonna be technical with like the team and all that, I mean, there was no problems with anybody on the team. You know, them bringing me on and all that kind of stuff. It's, you know, I'm truly grateful for that. I think just the issues that we had to play in the main where wasn't necessarily expecting that. Kind of going in was a tough situation because we didn't have that many games in together. I know these guys, I guess, played. These guys are all like part of a friends group, and I'm kind of like the 5th guy or like the last guy coming into the lineup. So it's kind of tough for me, but wasn't expecting, I guess, to play in the main. And also we didn't really have many playing sessions outside of game day. Just kind of another thing too. It's like, you know, it's like basically playing LG and then waiting, you know, only playing game day, like not playing outside of LG days. You know, that's kind of how it felt. Like we would only play, like I would have my LG day earlier in the week, and then we'd wait till Wednesday and then play, and then Thursday, then play. Then it would be, I wouldn't play till the following week. I wouldn't even get practice games outside of it. Like, it's just not a good setup in terms of like, in terms of my own process, but also the team as well. I don't think it was, if I'm going to be honest there, it wasn't necessarily the best setup as well going in, because we just did not have that many playing sessions in with, you know, with each other, and we're trying to play in the main division. If the expectation was for us to be competitive, I mean, it's going to be hard to be competitive if we're not actually grinding. But I mean, it's beyond me, because I know there's schedules and stuff like that. I just feel like if a commitment like esports is to be made, there has to be a deeper commitment to actually grind and form chemistry with one another. We just didn't really have that many playing sessions in. But it's still a tough situation regardless, because again, like, main division, it's like you have to have multiple seasons with each other as it is. You know, like if we're, even if we're trying to do just the bare minimum, which is like just playoff contention, right? Trying to just at least get to the first round. Even that, it's like, in order to do that in a way that's satisfying, you got to have some level of, like, you got to be able to have like a team that's just like already kind of there. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have the experience there. I didn't have that going in. I guess these guys had at least, I think, at least a few seasons together. I don't remember exactly how many. But the reason we couldn't play in the Contenders Cup is because they already played, I think, multiple seasons. I think I don't know if they were playing in Contenders or if they were only playing in main division. But I think if you have a certain number of seasons, you have to only then play main division. Like, Contenders is only for new teams. So if these guys are not new, I'm the only guy who's new. So we had to play in the main. But it was just, again, it's a tough situation going in because we didn't have that many reps in with each other, at least for me. And then again, we didn't really play that much while in season. So it was just, overall, it's just kind of like, hey, let's get on and try to cook. And we didn't really warm up either. You know, we would go in and then just play game 1 at 8 o'clock. It's like, imagine if we faced these really good teams. Like, the reason we didn't really, we only faced this team really, and then Instincts. Those were like the, if you really want to talk high-end teams, those are the only 2 high-end teams we played. If we played Entourage, we played Underdogs, we played Resilience, played any of those good, really solid teams. I don't know if we're thinking that we're gonna do a lot better than we would have done, but it would have been like 10-0. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking, because like that's the level that those teams are at. And it's like, yeah, let's play and try to be competitive. It just wasn't again, I just don't think it was set up all that well. Because like there's levels to this, I feel like, you know. The other teams have it established for a reason. Not just the experience, but they have the actual, like, their team has been set up for a long time. So just based on the reps, the you know, just the experience level of those reps is far beyond anything we've ever done, really. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out where I go next, because again, I want to be able to compete when I'm healthy. I don't want to be like, you know, having good days and bad days. I want to have a consistent run, you know what I mean? And then I want to be able to have a team that's trending upward. You know, I don't think that's something that's beyond like reason of actually asking. I could definitely do it, you know, like it's just a matter of finding the right situation that fits my needs. I'm not saying it's like, hey, I'm gonna bail out from these guys, but I just want to keep the options open in terms of the future, because I'm not sure, again, if I'm going to be healthy enough by the next season. I don't know how fast that next season is going to be going. I think it's going to end next week. Because the way they do it is they have, for playoffs, there was playoffs rounds 1 and 2 were this week. And every round is played on one single day. So it's a best of 5. And you play all the games in one day. So they went through the first 2 rounds this week. And then I guess next week they're going to finish. So the season's going to be over before Christmas. And then I don't know how close the next season's gonna come, or like how soon it's gonna come. If it's like end of January and all of a sudden, you know, the next season's already announced and it's about to be underway. Because I don't know how many seasons they get in. I think they try to get as many as they can. I think there was only like 3 seasons of esports, and then in 24. We were gonna try to compete, I think, over the summer, but they didn't have an event. They had, the last event was like May, early June. And we were like still in the beginning stages of that club when we were playing on Hackpack. So we were planning on trying to join something if they were, because we were thinking they were gonna have another event, but I guess they didn't. So I don't know what the time spacing is, you know, in between events. I mean, we got to go off a bounce, 2.5 left. I mean, it happens, right? Seems like this game, though, we're at least getting offense. We're at least getting out of the zone because, you know, got 12 shots to our 10. We're leading the game, too. We're winning. Somehow. Some way. think I actually want to do like a stream of like breaking down like what goes into creating a long-term team, because honestly, man, like it's been on my mind for some time. I've never really put it into like visual format, but I feel like I have like a template, you know, of like, hey, this is what it takes to compete at a high level based on what your intention is. It's like, again, like esports, you got to have the right system in place. Like the foundation of a team is so important. I think what's interesting is that a lot of teams they like skip over that. They just look for the guys that have the chemistry. You know what I mean? Like they just have the chem, and they cycle through all these different guys, but the reason they're cycling through all the different guys is because they're not actually building a strong foundation of guys, like the right guys. They're just selecting the guys based off their talent level and not necessarily their commitment level, which is different. Anybody can, you can grab anybody from a high level LG team, say, hey, you want to play esports? But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually going to be committed to the team long term. And if you're going to play main division esports one day, because that's the whole purpose of playing esports, is to have a team that's there for a while, building a long-term team that wins, you need the right guys that will stick with you. If I'm going to be completely honest. I play for the Hawks. The end isn't even all that, man. What was that for LG? Might have tried to throw my name in the hat for that a few years back, but whether it's age or 2 weeks, I had a high fever. I'm back in early 2020. I'm too slow now. Can't hang at this level at this point for sure. 5 years back, I might have done okay. Yeah, for me, I just want to like, yeah, like that's the thing too. Like LG, it's kind of tough to gauge the talent level too, because like, again, I don't know if it's just this season, but even like any season, there's always going to be guys that I don't even think belong in the end. You can say that same with the AHL too. You got some guys playing in A that should be playing N, and then you got some guys in the N that should be playing A. It's like, then you got guys that are playing in the C that should be playing in the A. It's like, what's going on with the skill gaps here? Just move the just pass to the open guy, move the rock quick, be in the right positions. I mean, yeah, if you're trying to play quick, but again, when it comes to the NHL, at least from what I broke down earlier, there's a little bit more science to it, or at least strategy to it. Because yeah, there is a simple way of playing the game, and everybody should be able to understand that. But then there is a level of formation, like a controlled breakout versus a quick breakout, a trap versus a forecheck. It's not just about being as wild as you can, because teams like this will be able to expose you at every turn. This is like, generally speaking, I can, find the right type of cuts. Just I'm not able to do it very consistently. Reaction time is a big deal in a game this fast-paced. We can run it once if you want. I can teach you, man. I play right D. So how do you... Okay, so if I were to ask you, how do you typically break the puck out? Like, do you give call-outs? Or is it just trying to move it quick? Mid to late 40s, you slow down, man. Even Tom Brady slowed down. Yeah. Yeah, definitely true. All them guys. Eventually, it hits you, right? And it's like, see, but for me, like, I want to, like, I don't know. I'm 24 years old right now. I want to be able to get to a time where I can just, you know, like, I'm in my prime. Like, let's actually get it done. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how we were winning games. Was this? This is the most EA bounce I think I've ever seen in the history of EA. Oh, it goes off the stick, off the poke check, off the skate, off the stick, off the skate, off the yeah. Yeah, it happened. Depends on whether they are trapping or not. Right. And that's, if you go, actually, if you watched earlier in the stream, most of the breakouts when I was filling in the end were when the team was trapping. How often would you say you control a breakout versus a, you know, you just do it quick? If they trap, literally just skate full speed directly behind the center while holding R2 the whole time and look for the center. I mean, I would have to disagree with that because, at least from what I've seen, picked up from other people, when a trap happens, I mean, there has to be some level of formation and control. Yeah, it could be getting the full speed, but like, how often would you say you give a call out where, hey, blue cut in and out, red cut left, green stay boards? Or how often do you do D-to-D passes? Like, there's defensemen that's all they do whenever a team is full trapping. Like, this isn't even really a full trap, but it's enough to be like, hey, we got to move it quick. I'm not gonna. That actually was a bad play for me because like it's just horrible. But it's like if they were back, somebody would expect me to give a call out to somebody. Where it's red's gonna go here, cut. Well, not at our blue line, but I'm just saying if it's at the red line, he would skate, cut there. Like, imagine this being our own, or imagine this line being like the center ice line. You can either cut there, cut right, cut left. Blue can go in, cut in and out, can stay boards, can just choose to cut in. Green can do the same, or it could be a D-to-D pass defying it too. Like, based on the trap, like there has to be some sort of like football passing play coordinated routes that are being directed from the puck carrier himself, from the defenseman. Most of the time the puck should go to center. It just depends on if he's open, because you got you got potentially 3 guys that could be on him. If a winger's like one-on-one on the side, there has to be some kind of formation to him or some kind of call out to him. Saws off the boards to winger if you don't call out, and if you do, just call him on the cut. All right, well, that's also why call-outs are so important too, because you could choose to not give a call out and try to go off the boards, and the guy cuts in anyway, and then you misplay it and you mistime it. And same with the center. You may expect him to go like to the middle, you make a pass, and then he makes a cut when you're not expecting him to. Like, that's the difference. That's the skill gap that I'm trying to learn, because basically I could skate it out, I can find a cut without giving a call out. The issue is the skill gap to play at a high level is from the call outs. But it's also the determination of whether the team's gonna forecheck or not. So if they do forecheck, then it's like, just go more fast pace. And what I would say, at least from the reps that we've gotten in the past, going way beyond just NHL 25 and into NHL 24, most of the teams were forechecking. So that's why said callouts weren't exactly stressing point for us. But when it came to more high level play, you're gonna have a chance to see that. Right, but yeah, if they do forecheck, that's where it's just a very quick pass. Like, ideally, I get the fundamentals of the game because I've played in the NHL. Like, you don't get to the NHL just by, well, you actually might be able to get there by chance, to be honest. But you know, most of the time, I'd say if you get to the NHL and you play, then it's honestly because you have the basics of sixes, you know, down. And actually, if you really want to be technical with it, let's actually take a look at something then. Because this is a video I made back in NHL, well, NHL 24. And all the call outs is actually in the I have a link down below too for it. 6v6. Where is that video at? Yeah, top 5 tips for sixes. Like, this is a video I made. 6v6, ESHL, and NHL 24. Comment down below how many of these 5 breakaways are on them. You've got roles, you got positions, you've got trap versus forecheck. Second tip is understanding the neutral zone play. There are 2 different styles: forechecking or trapping at the blue line. Like, this is it's cool when I go back and watch this stuff and like progress. Pressuring the opposing team, making the breakout for them much more difficult. The forward that stays back covers the middle lane in the neutral zone. When done right, this can create turnovers that can lead to scoring chances for your team. When done wrong, this is back when Hackpack was the thing. To a much easier attempt for your opponents to break into the zone. Forecheckers need to ensure that they don't get. I feel like it was almost like 90% of the time the teams would forecheck us. Keep the man in allows turns side to blue animation that limits risk. See, trap. This is where you would need obviously call outs to make a move towards the defense on their side and take what cuts in. It's actually funny too, because like watching these clips just kind of shows us where we were at. It was tough to get. It's like really tough to get specific clips team to enter the zone when you didn't have like what you would call, I guess, the best look on something. Use both strategies in the game. Like, there was an idea of what a trap was, idea of a forecheck, and it wasn't always done correctly. And the forecheck works if close to. Let's see. From the defensive zone, like, if you want to like you know, tap into exactly what I look at in terms of a sixes overall picture, this is really what it is. More of a man-to-man coverage with defensemen on that wing. The formation should be decided on. So when I'm so I play for, or I play in the A, but I was playing in the N as a fill-in this week. So I played both, but I was playing the A. Most important thing though is skate full speed, charging gear pass, target the whole time you have the puck. Set plays, make it possible. You have 10 single syllable calls out the whole line. Know what you're looking for. It's a lot easier than trying to articulate at speed. True. And that's just something that isn't always facing with a 5-on-3 well known for everybody. Triangle formation with one high in the. So when I do skate it out, sometimes I go to the middle, sometimes I'm on the right side. Hell, there's times people switch the defenseman. Somebody will tell me to switch, and he'll take my side. It's like a different look. But no, it's not. In the middle. Let me look at break-ins. Side. Playing puck in the defensive zone. There are a couple different breakouts to keep in mind. A quick breakout, which results in quickly setting it up to a forward when getting. See, this is how like slow breakout, resulting in slowing the play down and skating out of the zone as a team through the neutral zone. Fast pace, fine cuts. The thing is, the game is not this fast anymore, right? So that made breakouts a little bit more difficult, I'd say. Forechecks, whether they send 1 or 2 guys, wingers need to stay boards for support on board plays, and the center needs to stay middle and cut towards the strong side, whichever way that is. One quick pass up to a forward escape through the neutral zone. Once it reaches the neutral zone, the play can either be a give and go with a winger in center, or one cut from the forward to find a lane into the zone. These plays are more situational and require quick passing and reading the defense to find lanes into the zone. The slow break.
You see how this is only when a forecheck's happening.
Forecheck from the opposing team.
Yeah, you see, this is basically what you're telling me to do. Was this play?
There was no reason to
skate. Oh wait, no, hang on.
No, situational and require from the forward.
Maybe I missed it. Like this. You want me to skate forward?
The slow breakout should take place.
Skate forward, then find a pass.
From the opposing
like, obviously that was wide open. That team was even trapping. So, like, it's a bad look. It's a bad clip, technically, but it is still the same essence of, hey, skate it out, find a pass last second.
Have all 5 guys.
What glares off the screen to me immediately is that you don't use your RS to pass, like forehand.
And all 5 guys skate as one through the neutral zone.
Well, no, this is down to 24, so I don't even know.
Find a cut by one of the forwards to create space or a gap by defenders to find a lane in. The recommendation here is to have the wingers stay boards and cut in when getting past the red line or center ice line if the outside is covered. Another play is for the wingers to stay boards and manually sauce the puck off the boards to the winger for an outside entry. Or another play is for the wingers to cut in and then out to hopefully create space to the outside. These plays should be call-outs by defensemen to control the breakout so everybody is on the same page. The center has 3 options.
Am I not using the right stick then?
Middle, or right, depending on what's open. Make one cut towards whichever lane they choose, or it could be a call-out to skate left and right, or vice versa to create space into the zone. A neutral zone takeaway can result in many quick transitions to catch the opposing team off guard and potentially create an on-man rush. But if the lane isn't there, the puck should never just be sent into the zone. Dump and chase attempts in this game don't have much of an effect, as the dump
look how fast the game is, dude.
Drastically.
This is how NFL 24 is played. To be honest, it's actually better this way, but
the lane isn't there.
Now I'm looking at it and it's like way too fast.
But you could sauce the puck into the zone if you have a winger or forward.
Like, we're already down the ice. Like, that's actually insane.
A set play, usually from a call out from a defenseman or center or whoever is controlling that puck at that time. A player can also dump the puck off the boards themselves to then chase after it.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that anymore. No, actually, you could, technically.
Offensive zone.
I mean, it went through the basis of sixes as a whole, essentially. But I don't know. But yeah, definitely break-ins for me is like the biggest thing. Got to be more like control of just like figuring out like what to call out and all that kind of stuff, just based on everything. But yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it. Pretty much it for me tonight. Went through some film. A lot of film, actually, of some Lghl, and then into esports film and all that. So, but you know, hopefully I can make these streams a little bit more day to day, like more regular, and just get a little more content out for you guys. So, but yeah. Also, right now, community nights. I'm gonna try to get. Let's see, can you guys? Okay. Next Friday, I want to do a community night, if I can even get it scheduled. If we got enough guys to play. So, if you guys want to try to get some games in with me, then you know, we can get some games in. So, but yeah, I'll let you guys know exactly what time it is. But it's in the community Discord. So if you are not a part of that on the YouTube side, it's the first link down below. I'll be coordinating it through there. But yeah, that's the schedule. Try to get a little community night going, and then we'll see exactly what other streams I want to try to have planned. I want to try to dive into some more, I guess, online versus or hut gameplay, I guess. But yeah, but
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But that's what I'm trying to do now. So, alright guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in. And I'll catch you guys next time.